Should have told me because I could have done that in Lightroom. You know how they have the split view?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't think about it until yesterday. I didn't want to put any more work onto it for you. So, alrighty. We have a bit of a new format of the podcast. We've got a video set up and a normal podcast set up. So this is going to be both on YouTube and on whatever app you use for your podcast. So I want to kick this off with you introducing yourself, and then I want you to mention in the beginning where people can find your work, because most people listen to it, or even if they're watching on YouTube, they're still going to be on their phone, so they can look you up on Instagram and stuff like that. So can you give us a bit of an introduction of yourself and tell people where they can find your work?
Okay. I'm Thuc. That's Thuc. It's a Vietnamese name, not T-O-O-K. But that's the easy way to remember it.
T-O-O-K, people spell it like that.
Yeah. Or like T-U-C, T-U-K, lots of variations.
Yeah.
But I'm an outdoors travel and fitness photographer. You can find me on Instagram. It's thuc.creative. That's the same as on Facebook, and my website is thuc-creative.com. So it's all very uniform.
And you have two separate Instagram accounts, for your two.
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah. My fitness work is on thuc.action.
Yes. Cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What's been going on? What's the latest?
Not much. Well, no, that's a lie. A lot.
I feel like you're busy pretty much the whole time.
Yeah. Because I'm balancing so many different jobs, I guess. I'm always busy. So basically it's my photography work, but I also work for Gemma Peanut, who's a wedding and portraits and lifestyle photographer. Then I also work for Star Strength. So as you know, my husband's a strength and conditioning coach.
So you basically have 3 separate jobs.
Pretty much, yeah.
And 3 separate bosses, including yourself.
Yes, that's true. Yep.
How is it balancing those 3?
One always has to fall to the side a little bit.
Which one's that?
Mostly my personal stuff, I find, because Gemma Peanut is set for Monday and Tuesday. So on those days, I have to do Gemma Peanut work. And then Star Strength is so busy at the moment that's become a priority. And then my Thuc Creative work has been kind of pushed to the side.
It's almost impossible to keep a level priority, when you have 3 separate jobs like that. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
It's hard because I love all 3. So, I mean, I can't complain too much, but I know that I need to dedicate more time to my own work if I want to grow. Yeah. So, yeah, that's something I'm still working on.
It depends on your goal a bit. I think it's easy to fall into the trap of working for someone else because it is a simpler way, because you don't have to worry too much about yourself and your work, and you're getting paid at the end of the day. So yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah. Like I have pretty big goals for Thuc Creative, but they're so long term that I can't put everything into it because I need to worry about the short term, like money and mainly money.
Yeah. I think that's
let's be honest.
That's the biggest reason why would creatives work for someone else. It's financial.
Yeah.
I think but then as well, it depends how quickly you want to make money for yourself or your self-photography, because the more work you put in there, the quicker that's going to happen.
Exactly.
And if you don't do it, then it'll never happen.
Yeah. It's just the balancing act.
Yeah. How long have you done work for Gemma?
It's coming up to a year, I think, in November. And it's been really good. A really good experience.
Yeah. It's been a big learning curve for you, would you say? Or
massive, because when I started with her, I was still getting the hang of manual mode photography, and I had been experimenting with a lot of other industries as well. So I guess Gemma Peanut was like the start of my actual photography career. And so, she's taught me a lot in that, as well as just the business end of things, which I've then translated to Star Strength. So yeah, it's been really good.
That's
and
awesome.
We get on so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's hard to leave as well, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll never leave until she doesn't want me anymore.
Or until you get too busy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So how did you pick up photography, or when did you decide that you wanted to do that professionally? And what was the biggest challenges in the beginning?
I've always been interested in it since I was a teenager, but I didn't think I could do it professionally until late last year. And I guess the barrier was that I was used to having a structured career with a clear pathway, whereas with photography, it's quite, it's what you make of it, and there's no set route. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't so much like a technical barrier or a barrier that actually existed. It's just more the fear of going into something unknown. Yeah, if that makes sense.
And did you feel that you had a decent skill set with the camera and you knew what you were doing, and if you were going to get commissioned for a job, you could pull it off?
Yes and no. I think you always have that a bit of anxiety that you're not going to deliver no matter how skilled you are. But yeah, I knew that I had the skill set, but then again, it had never been proven. So I'd only done personal work. So just making that jump into like commissioned work and paid work
for corporate clients.
Yes,
and stuff like that. That's when it changes a little bit. Yeah. All right, and where are you at now? What's the next step for your photography career, not the other work?
Yeah, the fitness work is great, and I'm really enjoying that. That just comes through periodically, I guess. It's not a constant stream yet. And then my outdoors and travel work, I'm working with Thuc Starr, New Zealand. So I've got a few trips coming up for that.
You've already done?
I did one trip, in June. And then I've got one in 3 weeks. And then I need to do another within the next 6 months or so, which I haven't planned yet at all.
Oh, so do you decide where you're going to go?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Where are you going to go for your next one?
I'm going to Nelson, which is the north coast of the South Island.
Oh, so you're going back to New Zealand?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so jealous.
I think it's always going to be back to New Zealand because it's Thuc Starr NZ.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. The only requirement that they had was that I can't go back to Queenstown because they've got too much content from there.
Yeah. I guess that's a place that markets itself very
pretty well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think after you went there were so many people that I knew that went
So
there.
many people went.
Except for me.
Yeah, I know.
I want to go.
And I still have people saying that they're going to book a trip soon and they want recommendations and that. So it's pretty cool to see, I guess, my work leading people to booking that trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be amazing.
Yeah. It's fun.
That's awesome. All right, so you're going back to New Zealand to where did you go again? To
Nelson in 3 weeks. Yeah.
And then you have another one within the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And when you do these trips, you travel alone?
Queenstown in June, I was alone. This trip, I'll have Luke with me, and then the third trip, I think I'll take my sister.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. It must be nice to travel with someone, not just because of the company, but also then you have a subject and you can, they can basically be a model in some of the photos, yeah?
Yeah, because on the trip that I went on my own, it was just a lot of landscapes and self-timer selfies, which are a bit tricky and make you look ridiculous. So it would be nice to have a model.
That,
oh,
right?
Yeah.
So, for the trips, do you have a specific brief from Thuc Starr, or is it just they just want your style?
It's quite open-ended, so it's very, I guess it's the most important thing is that it showcases the location in a way that's organic to my style and my work and my words. So they've got...
Also, you write for them as well?
Just the captioning, and yes, I do need to do a blog post actually this time around. Yeah. So it's just got to stay authentic to me, but obviously showcase the destination in Thuc Starr, New Zealand. Yeah.
And where do they use that content? Is it just from your platform where it is, or do they write their own blog, or how does that work?
They'll share it on their social media channels, and that's as far as I've seen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies now that do that. Hey.
Yes.
Yeah, because they always need content for their socials.
Yeah, because it's so transient, I guess. You just scroll past it, and then
it lives for half
done.
a day.
Exactly. It's done its job, and you need the next thing. And there's only so much that a company can do that on their own. I feel. Yep.
And what has it been like dealing with Thuc Starr and like that communication with them?
It's been pretty simple and easy, straightforward.
Do they have a social media coordinator that works with you?
Yeah, it's a PR agency, which I think most companies have. Yeah. I guess it's been easier than I expected because, I don't know, it's just funny to just have an exchange of a few emails and then suddenly you have flights booked.
Yeah.
I'm used to having doing more work to get my flights booked. But yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, so you just organise a date and then
a
couple of days later you got a ticket in there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So with landscape photography and for you travelling on your own in particular, what equipment is like vital for you to bring with you, and do you ever like panic if you forget something, or how is that the life of traveling as a photographer?
Always bring my tripod.
Yeah.
And like charger and batteries. I think everything else can kind of be purchased, like memory cards, cleaning equipment, but the tripod is quite important. Like if you have a flimsy one, it's just so hard to work with and it makes shooting a massive pain.
Which one do you have now?
I can't pronounce the brand. Sirui? Is that how I say it?
How do you spell it?
Sirui.
Oh, I don't even know it.
Yeah.
Let me have a look this up.
It's really good. Like it's got a bore head which rotates all the way around.
Yeah.
It's really sturdy.
How do you spell it again?
Sirui.
I've never heard of that.
The only reason I'd get another one is it's quite heavy to backpack with.
So the weight of it is pretty heavy. It's not.
Yeah,
is it an aluminium one, or is it just like a thick, big one?
Oh, maybe it is aluminium. I'm not sure, but it's a few. Maybe it's like 2 kilos. I've got one that's really light for backpacking, but it's not as sturdy. So trade off.
Oh, okay. They look like the Gitzo ones. There's some carbon fiber options, and all right. I'm actually looking for a new tripod now because I have a really old Gitzo and it's completely fallen apart on me. The legs don't work anymore. It's so annoying, and the warranty is 7 years, and I've had it for I think 12
years. Oh, whoa!
I've had it for a long time, but I was still a bit cut.
That's pretty good.
It's good, but because I just messaged them on Facebook.
Yeah.
With their customer service, and I thought they were going to be super helpful because Gitzo is basically the Rolls Royce of tripods, and they were just like, your warranty is 7 years old, you can't.
Tough luck.
Yeah, that's basically all they said. But the ball head and stuff still works. It's just the legs. So,
okay.
Yeah,
I highly recommend this brand. It's very good.
I'll have to check it out. They look good. Oh, they got some fancy water protection thing as well.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so your tripod and your camera, and you have a Canon
6D.
Yep.
I normally shoot with my 24-105 zoom lens just because it's so versatile, and I hate carrying heaps of gear around. And I also hate like having to change lenses right there on the spot. So I find if I have a zoom one, it just stays on there and it can kind of cover most situations.
What aperture would you usually shoot at for a landscape?
If it's on a tripod, I will go 7 and above.
Okay.
Yeah, because then I can sort of shutter speed down. Yeah.
And have you started playing around with filters yet, or not?
I just purchased one, actually. It's in the mail.
Which one did you get?
I got a Nissi round, soft graduated neutral density filter.
So it's dark from the top to the bottom.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay. That's good.
Yeah, see how it goes.
Why did you decide on that purchase?
So Luke Sharkey, he's a landscape photographer. He recommended for me to get the square filter system, but it's just a bit out of my price range at the moment. So I went for the round one. The only thing is you can't adjust it, but I think I can work around that. So
yeah, that's true, because if it's a circular one, I guess
it's
the middle,
set.
it's set. You can't move it. Whereas if you have a square one, like a leaf filter system, you can move that up and down. I see what you mean. Yeah.
And I chose that because my main problem is always a blown out sky.
Yeah. For daytime landscapes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess on the previous Jetstar project, I was worried that I wouldn't get enough content because I was so reliant on shooting at sunrise and at sunset. So I wanted a filter that would enable me to create work during the day. Yeah. So hopefully this one gives me a bit more flexibility and opportunity.
That makes sense, because so you travel there for, let's say, how many days were you there? 3 days, 2 days?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yes, you have, say if you're there for 3 days, that's 3 sunrises and 3 sunsets.
Yeah.
And then if you get bad weather for 1 or 2 of them, very few options left. Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't thought about that. Okay.
And I bogged my car one of the mornings, so I completely missed out on that sunrise.
Yeah, wow.
Stuff like that happens, yeah.
It is very difficult to shoot a good photo during the day, at the height of day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so glary and it just doesn't look special.
Yeah.
It's just anyone can take that photo, and even on the iPhone, the color is the same at that time of day. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, the iPhone quality now is incredible.
Yeah.
So no, that makes sense. We had a shoot earlier this week up at Palm Beach, just shooting a Ford, and I needed 4 people there, so I'm just telling everyone we have to be there at 5:30. And I'll get up earlier than 5:30. Yeah, because I'll just get all my equipment ready. But everyone who's involved in the shoot, like, everyone has to be there at 5:30, and no one wanted to. Like, no, I can't do it. Why do I have to be up there so early? And then we get, luckily everyone agreed in the end, and we get there, and it's 20-30 minutes of good light, and then it's gone.
Yeah,
and it's just so blown out after that.
Yes,
so quickly.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to coordinate the car, 2-3 people, 20 minutes is nothing. Yeah. It goes so quick. And then I try to get a GoPro shot, a drone shot. It's just, I'm stressing. Everyone else is just like cruising.
Everyone else is like enjoying the beautiful sunrise.
It was a beautiful day, so it was great. But yeah, that totally makes sense. Now that we're talking about your images, or even your trip to New Zealand, let's do a segment that's new on the podcast, and the main reason why we have gone to a YouTube version. And that's because we can discuss some of your work and we can look at it.
Yeah.
So I've set the TV up here and it's got the images on. So if you are listening to this on your iPhone or when you're driving or something else, you can go to YouTube and watch the video version, and you can see the photos, and Thuc will kind of run us through what she's done pre and post some of these images. Do you have any particular images you want to start with?
No, not fast. I like them all.
This is
technical difficulties.
This is great. It's been working this whole time, and then no, it doesn't want to work.
Just when we want to
While we're waiting, can you? So I asked you to pick 5 photos to discuss post work. So I think you work in Lightroom.
Yes.
And you picked all landscape. Is there a reason why you didn't pick any of your action shots or gym shots?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I identify more with my landscape shots because, like, I love fitness, but it's not a massive passion for me personally. Like, I don't invest heaps of time in my own fitness, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But travel and creativity has been a part of who I am my whole life, I guess. Yeah. Whereas fitness is a very new part since I met Luke.
So is it fair to say that maybe landscape and that kind of work was more the reason why you got into photography?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. All right, we're going to take a quick little break, and then I'm going to get this to work again because the screensaver works, and that's your images.
Oh, okay.
But I want to make sure that we can just keep, have a slideshow and just watch a one at a time. So this is perfect.
I asked you if you liked Yosemite, since this is from Yosemite.
Yes. Well, I went there this year and I was really, really excited. One, because you told me so many great things, and I've obviously seen a lot of other people go there and it looks amazing. But we went at the very worst time. So we drove up and it was super hot. And we booked climbing, we were going to go rock climbing. It was way too hot for that. So it wasn't that enjoyable, especially because I wanted to climb a bit, like properly. And the rock was hot to the touch. Yeah. It was like soap. So it was impossible to really climb. And then we came back and we wanted to go and swim in the river, and there was just it was school holidays. Yeah. There was a million kids there. It was kind of trashy in that main area. Yeah. And then driving out was a nightmare because you so just bogged down with so many cars. So I didn't enjoy the experience itself, but the place is magical. Yeah. Holy cow. Yeah. And I'm from Norway, and we have
used to
very, very impressive mountains and stuff, but that place is truly special. Remarkable. Yeah, absolutely. So I'd love to go back, but I want to go back in a cooler time and when it's not a public holiday or anything like that.
Because were you there in August or July?
Let's see. We were there July. We went straight after the CrossFit Games.
Yes, okay.
And it was nuts. It was so busy.
Yeah.
I'd love to stay up there for 2-3 days to sleep up there and go climbing and hiking properly as well. But yeah, it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be.
Oh, what a shame. Oh well, you just have to go back.
Yeah, the place is amazing, but too busy. Yeah, and I don't like busy at all.
Oh, so, neither do I. Yeah, it just ruins it.
But this leads us into the first photo, which is a landscape of Luke. That's your husband.
Yes.
Just, hiking there.
Yep.
All right, give us a little backstory on this photo. When did you take it? What was the setting? Anything like that?
I'm pretty sure this is hiking down. Yes, it is, from Clouds Rest in Yosemite, which is amazing. A really awesome hike. I mean, it's uphill a lot of the way, and it's hot because it's summertime. But when you get up there, the view is just incredible. And
I can see that.
Yeah. And then after this, we actually hiked Half Dome the day after. So just those two combined was just the ultimate Yosemite experience, I think. But yeah,
was
this is on the way
your
down.
first time there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that must have been just incredible, hey?
It was so good.
Why did you want to go there in the first place? What inspired you?
Probably Jimmy Chin or something along those lines.
Makes sense.
And I don't know, it's just Yosemite, and I started indoor climbing last year, and you know, every rock climber wants to climb in Yosemite. Yeah. And so I just heard about it, and
Did you watch Valley Uprising?
I did. I've seen every mountain related movie.
Okay, so this is, I'm guessing this is taken either late morning or maybe even closer to midday.
Yes, I think we reached the summit around 11 a.m. So it would have been lunchtime. I mean, you can tell it's quite glary up the top. Yeah.
So you came back from the trip, or even you might have had a sneak peek during the trip of this photo, and I assume you liked it since you took time to edit it after. What particular things did you like about the image? And when you started looking at it, is your brain starting to think about how you want to edit it, or how does it work?
So this one actually only caught my eye recently when I was going back through my archives trying to look for photos that I could use. And I have a feeling that initially I probably didn't like it as much because of all the trees, and just that whole mid layer is so green.
But then you liked it again.
Yes. I don't know why. I guess I love layers. So I think my perspective shifted a little bit, and I just saw that green instead as a layer, instead of like just this obstruction in my image.
I like the dimensions because it's so, you have the foreground, the middle ground, and then it just runs into the background with all these mountains.
So pretty.
Amazing.
Endless layers.
All right, walk us through. So let's see if I can get the after the edit. Yes, this is the edited one.
Yes.
Right.
So I just reduced the highlights a bit in that top layer so I could bring through the mountains.
Yeah.
Because that was lost a little, but I knew, I mean, not only from playing around in the image, but I knew from my memory that there were so many layers there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring that forward. Cooled down the image a little. I'm into cooler tones at the moment.
So a little bit bluer?
Yeah, a little bit bluer.
Did you make just the top layer, the mountains bluer, or is the everything
No,
gold?
I made everything bluer, but then I'm pretty sure I've been doing this thing where I reduce the saturation in my yellows just to make like that granite along the end there a bit whiter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're the main edits in this photo.
I think the biggest change for me is definitely the you can see so much more through the back of the mountains, and you got a little bit more detail in the sky.
Yes.
But your filter is going to come into good work here.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very excited.
That it's so hard to shoot at something like this, so there's details in the sky and details in the foreground.
Yeah.
Because the difference is massive.
And I wasn't that confident actually with manual mode when I shot this, which was July last year.
Yeah.
So I reckon if I went back now, I would have nailed this shot a bit more and I wouldn't have had to do so much post on it. Not that I did a lot, but even less.
Roughly what settings did you shoot it at? And then what do you think you would change to improve it?
I think I just overexposed it too much in the beginning. So I don't think I quite understood that you can always bring back detail when it's underexposed, but you can't when it's overexposed at this time.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's probably,
that's a really good lesson to learn. So you grade the brightness and the darkness just from 0 to 255 or something like that. Mm-hmm. If the sky is fully blown out when you shoot it in your original file, there's no way you can get information back.
Yeah.
But also if it's fully blacked out, there's no information either, so it's harder to bring it back. But usually it's better to shoot so there's a little bit of detail in the shadow and then bring that back in
bring that
post.
out.
Did you stage this shot with Luke, or did you just snap it? It's like in the moment.
Yeah,
cool.
A lot of my work is snapped in the moment because I always said like the adventure comes first, the experience. That's what I've always loved, traveling, being outdoors, and then photography came after. So, and also I really like getting that movement and just that
the natural
authenticity
movement
in the photo. Yeah, I mean some stuff is staged in that I make him walk it again or run it again. But it's never just plucked out of thin air. Like it's happened and then I want to recreate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is a very common way people start because I've noticed lately that I have to stage things more.
Yeah.
And that's so much harder.
Yes.
If you shoot something and it's in the moment and you're lucky to snap that little second, then that's great. But when you do a paid commission work or something that you have to do something specific, you have to direct people and that is, I'm not comfortable with that. It is a bit more tricky.
I think I learned that when I was traveling alone and I had to stage my own shots. So
you directed yourself?
Yeah. Then I realized the value in staging the shots. Yeah.
And then also it becomes easier if you work with actor or people that can act, instead of just your friends, because then everything becomes awkward, and then you can see that awkwardness through the photo or the film. All right, cool. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. So this is one that we talked about just before we started recording. Explain to us where it is and what was the idea with the photo in the beginning, because just this straight one, it looks it's a bit more normal. Hey,
So this is Glenorchy from my trip to Queenstown in June. And as I was driving along, have you been there?
No, I've only been to the North Island.
Okay. Well, the drive is beautiful from Queenstown to Glenorchy. And there's this one point where everyone stops and takes photos of. And this is what is in the distance. And as I was driving, I could see a bit of weather going over these peaks. And the light was it was golden. It was more golden than in this photo. And I was just hoping that by the time I get there, it was still around for me to take a photo of. So yeah, that's the setting. And I got there, it was still there. But this photo, I edited it because, yes, this is what I guess I saw in my mind. Yeah. And
Yeah. I think we've talked about that before on the podcast. It's the creative gap.
Yes.
Because you see a scene and you want to shoot it and you think in your head, this is what it's going to look like. And it comes out maybe like this. Blue. And you're like, this is not what I had in mind. And then you fix that in post to make it work.
But this is one of the first times that I've edited this much, I guess, where I transformed the scene into more how I remembered it. I mean, maybe in reality it must have been a lot more blue, but...
Well, it also depends how you shoot it. So what did I just heard something the other day about when you shoot an image where there's a lot of blue sky, or even the ocean where there's a lot of blue water, you should change the color setting a bit. Because normally when we shoot outside on a blue, or say a day where there's little to no cloud cover, we shoot it on sunny, unless you have it on a specific Kelvin. But apparently that's not the best way to do it.
Okay.
I think you're meant to... I'm trying to remember.
Just so it's not as...
Yeah, because it comes out super, super blue.
Yeah.
And you don't get that golden sun tint to it.
Yeah.
If someone can correct me on what the setting should be, then let me know. But yeah.
Yeah, so I played around a lot with this image.
Yeah. And then I think you must have done something else too, because...
The crop?
Yeah, obviously the crop, and then the mountains and that contrast between the light and the mountains. Did you do anything with that, or?
I think
it looks way more dramatic.
Yes, I probably did some split toning with the shadows and the highlights.
Okay, explain that for someone who hasn't done that before.
So I think it looks like I might have put like some kind of tint on the shadows to make it less blue. And then an orangey tint on the highlights to make it a bit more orange sepia looking. And I would have definitely reduced the saturation of the blues and maybe even the luminance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
And there's a lot of clarity and contrast in it, for sure.
It's interesting to see because I've been doing the opposite lately. I've been trying to make the shadows bluer and the highlight. Oh wait, that's what you said. Yeah, shadows bluer and the highlights warmer. Yeah?
Yes.
It's a much better look. And you also mentioned clarity on Lightroom. Yes. Not with this one. Tool. That's such but that get overused a lot. I think people,
which I don't like actually.
You can't see it on this one, but especially we talked about gym images before and action shots, and that's some of the stuff you do. I think some people just discover the clarity tool in Lightroom and just crank it to 100.
Yes,
and you can see that so easily. It's way too much.
Yeah,
it kind of looks impressive if it's someone who doesn't really shoot, and then that's how they.
It makes it look more epic, I feel, because it's so grainy and it's so sharp, in your face. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I must have made that mistake too earlier on.
I definitely haven't seen that with you.
But
not as much.
I mean, it has its place, right? But I think 5 to 10 is probably enough.
That's what I mean.
Instances.
5 to 10, you can't really tell.
No,
but when people crank it to 80 to 100, it's so in your face.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. That's the wrong way. This one I found interesting. We're going to ask you about this. So this is the original that you sent me. So before, is this 2 images?
It is. So I couldn't, it wasn't wide enough for me to get that bottom platform of rock, but I really wanted it in there to frame the image. So yeah, I just, what is it called? A composite? Just merged 2 images together.
So you shot the 2, and the second underlying one,
yes,
you just shot because you wanted the
just that rock, that bottom border.
And to get that to be the right perspective on your original photo, did you just tilt your camera down, or how did you do that? Do you remember?
I did just tilt my camera down, but I also did a bit of skewing in post.
Okay. Yeah. Because if you just tilt the camera down on the tripod, it doesn't quite work.
Yeah. The dimensions are slightly, like the angle is not right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then it looks like you have a fairly long shutter speed because there's movement in
that's
you, who's the model, and then in the water.
Yeah.
Where are you at here to make the water look dead flat, basically?
As in what shutter speed was I at?
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been that long because I had to pose and I wouldn't have wanted to stay still for that long. I'm thinking 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's not a lot of movement in the water and you shoot around 2-3 seconds, it's still going to look flat.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And then the final edit is this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me this looks way clearer and the details in the shadows have come out a lot more. It's kind of the biggest thing for me, and probably saturation as well. Yeah. Explain to me what you've done here.
I brought out the shadows. Bit of clarity again. Saturation in the orange, but the yellow I would have dialed back a bit to get just the rock a bit wider, just in between the, just that big chunk there where it's got a bit of white and orange in it.
Yeah.
From memory, the sky again was blue, so I think I used an adjustment brush to just dial that back a bit. And then I would have done a different adjustment brush on the water to make that more blue. So less blue on top, more blue in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the greens are brought out too. Because I really like that moss on the rocks.
Yeah, on the rocks it looks way clearer than before. When you work, you said earlier that you pulled out some of the yellow.
Yeah.
How do you do that in Lightroom? What's your workflow there?
It's the HSL color luminance panel.
Yeah.
And I pretty much just slide that slider to adjust the saturation of the yellows and luminance.
Yeah. How that adjustment that people do to their photos with those things, that's very much a style and a personal preference sometimes. And how did you find your style with that? How did you decide on those things that you want to do?
I guess it's just the look that I'm going for.
Yeah.
I find that I do that in my fitness photos as well. I guess maybe I just don't like that yellow orange tint.
Yeah, you get a lot of tungsten light.
Yes, I think because I don't know, I think it's a bit overdone before, especially when Instagram first came out with all the filters. There was just a lot of CPR and Valencia.
If you look at that now,
warm tones.
Yeah, you go back to your very first Instagram photos with filters. It is terrible.
Yeah. And I just think, maybe it's a camera thing too, like with the white balance. I just feel like I need to correct the yellows. Do
you adjust your white balance when you shoot, or do you just shoot raw and then you just adjust it later on? Yeah,
I just shoot raw and adjust.
So what setting is the camera on? Just
auto white balance.
Auto white balance.
Yep.
Okay.
Is that lazy?
No, it doesn't really matter because you can change it with a raw file.
Yeah.
But when I shoot video, I have to set it.
Yes.
Because I can't adjust it as much.
Yeah.
Until I get a red camera, and then apparently you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I've had to work a lot with that now and getting better at shooting in camera correct color balance.
Yeah.
And that's a nightmare.
You get away with a lot more with photography for sure.
Just with that part you do for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And then I was looking into getting a color meter. They're so expensive. Ooh. They're crazy expensive. I'm not going to buy one. Some of them are over $1,000. Oh, they're really good ones.
Really?
But then someone else have made a attachment that you put on your iPhone, and it's just an app. And I think like $200-$300. Someone else told me about that.
Yeah, that's worth playing with.
Yeah, it's a Kickstarter campaign, so I'm not sure if it's out yet.
Yep.
But that could be worthwhile for me.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because mixed light is super tricky, and then I want to get the skin colors right.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, the skin color.
Well,
especially in CrossFit gyms. Yeah, oh my goodness.
That's the biggest hurdle. I talked to Dave a lot about that as well. Yeah. That is tricky.
Yeah.
I guess you avoid that a bit with landscapes.
Yes.
What's the hardest part with your landscape photography, do you think? Something similar?
I think just making it interesting, because there are lots of landscapes that are beautiful to the eye, and when you're there, but in a photograph, it might not transfer through as much. Like I find that an image just needs to have a few different components for you to focus on. And yeah, I like my work not to just be nice when you first glance at it, but to draw you in. And for that, it needs to have different elements. Yeah. So that's what I find most difficult for landscapes, because you gotta find that, or you gotta create it.
Yeah. Can you give an example of what elements you're looking for?
Just like the foreground, something there, like a rock or flower or a person.
So you get your levels.
Yeah, levels.
Yeah.
Levels and layers.
All right. Well, this could be
like
a perfect example of that. This is the first star kind of image that we're talking about. And there's so many stars in this photo. Yeah. It's insane. The whole night sky is just completely full of it. I think we forget that a lot living in a city, because you're never able to see this with your bare eye if you live in a city. So where is this, and how do you get that much detail out of the night sky for you?
So this is Seal Rocks Bay, which is the New South Wales mid-north coast. It's like just north of Port Stephens, but south of Foster. And I went there maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And this was my first night of a 4-night road trip. So it's a long exposure.
Do you know how long?
I normally it would be around the 15-second mark, because that's where I normally stay around.
Okay. Why is that your
because if I go longer, I find there's just the stars aren't as tack sharp. And I like them to be as sharp as possible. I don't want any tailing.
Yeah. And then what aperture is this?
It would have been the lowest, so 4 on my 24 to 105.
Ah, okay. So you go all the way open.
Yes. Yeah. All the way open, 15 seconds, ISO probably 6400, around that mark.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because the 60 is quite good if I push the ISO. Yeah. A bit higher, but they're pretty standard, those settings for my astro shots.
That's cool, because I never knew that. I've never done astro shots, and I thought that you would go a small aperture to keep more of the image sharp, and then just have the shutter speed as long as possible. Yeah.
I mean, I have done 30 seconds before, but
just get more movement through the stars.
Yeah, and it's also like how practical it is to just stand there and keep doing 30-second exposures, because you don't know it's good until you get it. And then you need to, it's just a lot of time. Yeah. And it's a lot of trial and error for astro for me. So 15 seconds is good.
So when this is on f4, where do you focus? Just infinity or?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I will point it towards the brightest star and focus on that, or to infinity and just pare it back a touch.
Okay. Yeah. How come you pare it back?
I've just found that it's too blurry when it's not as
if you go
sharp.
All the way to infinity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just with my lens, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
And I do a couple of 5-second exposures just to check that it is actually focused, and the framing and composition and everything, and then I'll go for the 15 seconds.
Yep. All right, talk to me about the changes you made in this one. We've got before on the left-hand side, and then after on the right-hand side, and the color is quite different. And what else?
So it's bluer. Once again, the sky, I've adjusted the hue of the purple to make it again bluer, as well as the water is more aqua. They're probably the main color changes, and everything's been brightened. I normally bring out the whites in the image and highlights, because that's the stars. That's where you get that coming through.
So when it's a night shot like this, you kind of have to do the opposite of a daytime shot. You got to turn the whites and
turn them up.
Yeah. To get the stars to pop a bit more.
And I would have dehazed the image as well. And clarity.
Dehazing. What is that?
I feel like it makes the colors, well, it's almost like the contrast. It brings out the contrast in the image. I'm not sure if that's right, the right description of it.
Yeah, I don't use that,
that's what I do for Astro.
Yeah, so you pretty much always use dehazing for Astro. Okay.
Yeah. And the noise, I'll probably reduce the noise a little because it's so grainy at that high ISO, and then sharpened it a tad.
Yeah, that was going to be my other question, if it does get noisy.
And I don't think I did any like adjustment brushing on this image. If any, maybe around the water to make it that turquoisey color.
Yeah. The water definitely looks better. That looks heaps better on the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
And that guy's just a fisherman who was on the beach with me.
And then the light trails?
Yeah, he had a head torch on. So where that big burst of light is, he was standing there and I was like, please do not move, don't move in the 15 seconds. And of course he moved because he's fishing.
Yeah.
But it ended up being really cool.
Yeah. And he would have faced you with that torch when it's
Yes, I
bright?
think he was standing where that burst is, and then he would have turned around. And when he was turning around to walk to where he is now, he would have faced me just for like a split second. Yeah. But it was enough to get all that light coming through. And he's moving, so that's why he's a bit like translucent, transparent.
He looks like a ghost.
Yeah, it's a bit ghostly.
That's not the Milky Way though, is it? What we're
No, the Milky Way was like that's the end of it. It was just arching all across.
Okay, yeah. So, because it has been, people always talk about that with astrophotography, the Milky Way season, and when that's at its clearest and stuff. Yeah.
Well, it's over now.
Oh, okay. So, is it always at the same time of year or no?
I think it's just winter. It's just something about the clearer skies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can always see it during winter? I have no idea how these things work.
Well, I mean, if you go outside of the city, I'm inclined to say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was especially spectacular here. Like we went to the Warrumbungles a year and a half ago, and I wanted to go there specifically because it was designated like a dark sky park, which is practically a national park, but for the night sky.
Yeah, no light pollution.
Yeah, so I knew the stars would be really nice there, and they were, but this was just epic.
Yeah.
Even more so than the Warrumbungles. So
it's something that everyone should see. That many stars, because like
it makes you realize just
you start thinking of it.
Oh yeah,
because it's just stars everywhere across the sky, and if we go at nighttime out in our backyard and look up, you can count how many there are.
We're lucky to see a couple.
Yeah. It's incredible. All right, the next one is another nighttime shot with stars. Walk us through this one.
This is again at Seal Rocks Bay. So to the right of the image, you can see the rocks, which were in the first astro photo.
It's the same spot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that over there, so the rocks on the right, that's where the fisherman was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's me in the image.
Yep.
And you can see a bit more of the Milky Way this time. It's just over that little island.
So through the middle, basically.
Yeah. So because there's more of the Milky Way in it, in post, I would have... I actually learnt this on a Canon Collective meetup. She told me to use an adjustment brush and just go over the Milky Way and like make the temperature a bit warmer just by a couple of setting points.
A couple of numbers?
Yeah, just for the contrast.
Okay. Who was this?
I don't remember her name. I follow her on Instagram. But
So
she led a Canon Collective astrophotography workshop.
Okay.
Yeah, at Longreef.
So you went out shooting at Longreef.
Yes.
Then she worked with you guys in post as well?
No, she just gave me a tip when she saw my image on the back of my camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, that's good. I've never done one of those. I think Bo runs some of the challenges there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only one that I did. And I only did that because I did want to go out and shoot at night, but I didn't want to go alone. So I thought the group was a good option.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. With smartphones, what do you have and how much do you use the camera on your smartphone?
Oh, I have an iPhone, obviously. Who doesn't? But I don't know what it is. It might be a 6.
Oh, you don't even know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really manky.
I'm going to say it's a 6.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd like to get a new one only because it's so slow now.
Gets slower,
It's so slow. Like I go to do an Insta story and the moment's gone. Before it even,
did you update? Did it update to the newest software?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because that makes it even slower.
Yeah.
It's really cool, the new iOS, but it makes things super slow.
Maybe that's why.
And there's a conspiracy theory that they make it slower on
Yes,
purpose.
planned obsolescence.
So you have to,
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard that expression
It's an
before.
economics word.
Yeah.
Because I studied
economics.
Yeah.
That's right. Planned obsolescence.
I think that's the word.
Yeah. So are you in the market to buy a new one?
Probably, yeah. It's time.
Yeah.
Just because I do like taking iPhone photos, especially hiking, because sometimes you don't want to take your camera out, but you want a shot, or it might just be a shot of like what we're eating.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take my camera out just for that, but I know I want that photo for a blog piece or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely shoot. I shoot on the iPhone.
I use it a fair bit as well. Even for slow motion. It's the only camera I have of all the cameras I have that are 120 frames per second.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah. It's really good. And I'm on a 6 as well, and I'm fully in the market for a new iPhone.
Yeah.
But I haven't decided because the new iPhone releases were not that good.
Yes, and you know, apparently they're doing like 3 releases, an 8, 9, and 10.
It's an 8 and a 10.
8 and a 10. Okay.
I don't know what
iPhone
happened to
X
9
or something.
Yeah, so 10 is X.
Yeah.
So they've done 8, normal size 8 and 8 plus, and then the 10.
8 plus, yes.
Yeah, and you can buy the 8 now, but the 10 is not available for pre-order in Australia until 12th of November.
Yeah,
something like that.
Jem told me she read that you know how usually there's such a massive queue for the iPhone? The iPhone 8 was just like a bit of a flop because everyone's waiting for the 10.
Yeah. But now more people actually go back to the 8 because they realize it's going to be hard to get the 10. So I still think they're going to do big sales with it.
Yeah.
And the 10 is expensive.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you get this fully spec'd one, it's going to sit around 1,800 Australian.
Oh.
Which is crazy.
1,800?
Yeah.
Rather buy my lens.
I know. That's you can get some good camera equipment for that.
Yeah, I might just wait until this one really dies.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. I'm waiting for the Google Pixel.
Oh yeah.
Google has will do a release on the 5th or 4th of October.
Oh, that's soon.
That's pretty soon, and they usually will bring out an amazing camera, which is what I'm looking for, and improve the battery.
Yes.
Better battery than the iPhone, and I don't know. It's going to be hard to leave the Apple platform. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm not that excited about the 10.
I left Apple once and got a Samsung and
really?
Samsung Galaxy,
and
then I went back.
What happened?
I just find the iPhone more intuitive to use, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just quicker to use, and Samsung there's so much functionality, but I don't need all that. I just need like the basic functions, Instagram, and email.
It's easier to use a normal iPhone, I'd say, especially if you're used to that system. All right, so this brings me to something I want to ask you about. When you edit your photos on your computer, what do you use? And then when you transfer it over to your iPhone, do you use anything there again to get it ready for Instagram? Or what's your workflow there?
So I use Lightroom, as we spoke about before. And
you're on a Mac?
I'm on a Mac, yes.
Yeah.
And
just
then
a laptop or?
Yeah, MacBook Pro.
Yeah. And you just use the screen there and that's it? Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I find that's enough for me.
Yeah.
And then I will airdrop it to my iPhone.
Yeah, another reason why I'm going to struggle to go away from
it's so good.
Apple
it's just so
airdrop.
integrated. Yeah. And then I do edit it on the Instagram platform. I played with
natively in the Instagram app.
Yeah.
Okay.
One reason is because I heard that is part of the algorithm. I don't know if this would be true. And I don't know where I heard this from, but yeah.
Okay.
All I do is like brighten the image, sharpen, maybe like the saturation, because it can change from like the computer to the phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks, but that is so hard with the saturation or the colors, because it can look a certain way in your computer, and then you put it on the iPhone and the screens are way different, so it'll look different there again. And then, but but it will be viewed on Instagram, so you have to get the colors right on your phone. On Instagram, ultimately.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What size is the photo when you drop it from your computer to your iPhone?
Dimensions?
Yeah, roughly.
I export it at like 2500 pixels long edge, so it's quite big. Yeah.
Oh, so it's, okay.
Yeah.
And then 72 DPI?
No, it's actually at like 200 DPI.
Oh, wow. Okay, so your file is massive coming off
It's a couple,
computer.
Maybe like 2 or 3 megabytes. Oh, no, that's not true.
No, probably. It could be.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Between 1 and 3, I'd say.
Yeah.
But then, wouldn't Instagram
compress it
a lot? Yeah. I have no idea about this. I'm asking because I'm curious.
I think, well, it's because it does compress that I export it at 200. Because I feel like if I did it at 72 and then Instagram compresses it even more, it might be less. But I don't know why I decided. Well, the thing is, I use a lot of my images on my portfolio and in a blog piece as well. Yeah. And so I need the quality to be good for that. Yeah. So at 200, I can pretty much do both. Okay. I don't have to do like a web version and like a digital. Okay. No. Yeah. Like a better, higher resolution version.
Yeah. For your bigger platforms. So this is where I'm at, and I don't know if this is right either. If anyone wants to give me some advice, then please do. So I do a larger version, and I usually go 1500 wide for stills and 96 DPI because that's for PC and for Mac. It's kind of the highest you need to go. And then I do, so that's for Facebook because someone might view the photo on Facebook on their laptop or desktop. And then I go a smaller version, which is 800 wide. For Instagram, and I do that with video as well. Well, the video will be 1920, which is normal HD. Yeah. And then if I do a video for Instagram, I'll do a separate file for that, but make it way smaller. Smaller, yeah. Because the reasoning is that I've heard is that Instagram will natively just it'll just compress the big file way more, so you have more color changes and sharpness changes. Yeah, the sharpness. Yeah. That's tricky. Rob said that let me try and remember what he said. He would make the file, actually I can't remember what size he would make the file on his computer, but then he'd put it into Snapseed or Afterlight and then change the colors and the sharpness in those apps. And then go to Instagram. Save it and then go to Instagram. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I had VSCO. Yeah, VSCO, yeah. And I don't know. It was just never what I was looking for. Like I liked playing around on it, but it never got me the end product that I was looking for. So I think I've deleted it now, and I just do everything on Lightroom, Instagram, a few minor changes, and then that's pretty much it. So you change the sharpness in Instagram. I just make it a touch sharper because I feel like it goes a little bit loses. Fuzzy. Yeah. I wonder if that changes a lot. What's the best practice to do that with? Yeah. Like with the algorithm, or you mean? Oh, that as well. Yeah. I have no idea. I mean, that's a perfect example for that is Facebook. If you upload a video natively in Facebook, it does better. It gets 20 times more views than if you upload a YouTube link. Yeah, I feel like that just makes sense. For these platforms to, I guess, reward those who are interacting on it. Yeah. They're competing though. I don't know. That's what's happening now is that Facebook wants to be a platform for video. So they want to compete almost directly with YouTube. Yes. So that's why they reward you for uploading it straight into Facebook. The issue is that majority of the videos that I view on Facebook, the upload and the speed of the way I view the video is way worse. It's slower. The audio will be off a little bit. Whereas if it's in YouTube, it plays really well on all platforms, on my Apple TV, on my computer, on my iPhone. So they still haven't done that very well. But if you want to go viral, like it happens more on Facebook, I guess. Yes. Like they get millions and millions of views. Yeah. But then again, on the other side, if you have a longer format video, it can live more natively on YouTube and create an audience there natively there as well. Yeah. It's all it's like a science, but it changes all the time. Like you can never Sometimes I feel quite like at the mercy of these social media platforms. Yes. And
like if you think about it, because a lot of people have built their careers off Instagram and Facebook, and it's like
so
if
many
they
now.
take that away from you, like what do you have?
Yes.
Like do you have a fan base anywhere else? Have you built the relationships?
Yeah.
The face-to-face
That's why they recommend you to
relationships?
build email
Yeah,
lists.
yeah.
'Cause
That's
that's
hard. The
it's
email,
way harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
It's,
someone
I actually
to give you
saw
the email.
a video on that recently by New York Times and how they do own your marketing place. If you make your money through Facebook or Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook owns both of them.
Yes.
And
Yes.
exactly like what you said. What happens if they take it away? A good example as well is how Facebook previously, this is a few years ago, they would try to make you build your following. So if you had a business page, say if you had Star Strength business page, they would try and get you to pay to get more followers. So people did that all the time. So let's say you made 10,000 people that like your page. Great. Then after that time frame, you didn't reach any of them anymore because they changed the algorithm.
Yeah.
So now you paid all this money to get 10,000 followers, but to reach them, now you have to boost your post, to sponsor your post. So they're making bank. Yeah. And
it's so out of
we
your
just
control.
have to keep following the whole time.
Keep adjusting your strategy and because what made me I guess be more sensitive to all this is because I feel like my Instagram has died because my hashtags don't work anymore for some reason. Yeah. And I just don't have as big a reach.
I think
just
you're
in the
not
last
paranoid.
like 2 weeks, and I'm like, what's going on? I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of like the catalyst for me to start thinking of other ways, I suppose. Yeah.
Bo and Rob said the same things as well when I've talked to them, is because they both have a massive following on Instagram. Yeah. And they're reaching a much, much smaller percentage than what they used to. Yeah. Yeah. Because now the feed isn't chronological like it used to be. But back when it started, you would always see a chronological feed of when people posted, and you would see it from all of the people that you followed. But now it's an algorithm. Yeah. So you get sponsored posts, you get things that just never show up because it's not doesn't do well with the algorithm.
Like sometimes I'll get posts from friends from like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Multiple times. Yeah. I'm like, I know, I've seen this.
And then I feel weird about liking it. If I didn't like it the first time, I'm like, oh, sorry if I liked it late.
Yeah, it's just weird.
My feed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever go on, so not your feed, but the, what's it called on Instagram? The
Explore feed?
Explore feed?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Why do you go on that page?
Well, I'm interested to see what Instagram thinks I like.
Yeah.
Just to see what they suggest. It's often like really big accounts.
Yeah.
Who come up on that as well. So I don't know. I'm just nosy and I like to see what else is happening on there. Because, a lot of people do well on Instagram and you don't see it until you venture out of like the people you already follow, I suppose.
Then you can see how or why they do well.
Yeah.
It's funny because Rory told me that when he catches himself spending time on that, which I think he almost never ever does, he's like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I wasting time? So every time I've spent more than 2 minutes on the Explore page, I'm thinking about Rory. I'm like, all right, I should get off
Rory's
this.
judging me right now.
I rarely see anything interesting there.
Yes. Or it's just, like, I quite like following photographers who engage with their audience and who have a big following, but not too big where it's like thousands of comments.
Yeah.
And on the Explore page, often it's really huge accounts. And I just feel like, I don't know, I miss that connection, personal aspect. I feel like it's just another big publishing company almost. So, yeah. I mean, I've never found anything that I've really loved in the Explore tab. Yeah. And yet I still have a peek at it.
Is it a mix for you between fitness stuff and
well, because I have the two accounts, it's pretty segregated.
Separate. Yeah. Okay. What's your approach to Insta stories? And
well, I love Instagram stories. My I guess belief with it is because, and with a lot of things, is it's just a way of differentiating you from other people. And I've always kind of believed that people, you know, buy you and not just what you do. Like, if you want photography, you can go to so many different people. And same with Star Strength. Like if you want to find a coach, there are so many good coaches out there, but it's who I am as a person that might attract clients.
Yeah.
Especially
your personality and how they feel like they can interact with you.
Yeah, especially when businesses are so concerned with like authenticity now and like aligning with their mission and their values and that kind of thing. I think they're quite conscious of working with people who represent that. So I think it's important to put out who you are so that you can attract that kind of relationship, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Plus, they're fun.
What did Harriet say? It's like a short-term commitment.
Yeah, it's like up there for 24 hours and then it's gone.
Yeah, so even if you post something that you're not fully backing, I guess, it's like, oh, it'll be gone.
I know Luke loves it because he's very, like, he loves to analyze everything too much, you know?
Oh, so he can ignore it a bit if he does the stories.
Yeah. So he feels less... there's less at risk for him with Instagram stories because it just goes up and then it disappears. Yeah.
Someone told me about there's more and more people now that are putting big efforts into their Instagram stories.
Yeah.
I looked into it a bit when I went to the States with Ricky and Mitch because I was going to do some Insta stories for True Protein. And I can't remember the names now, but some of them fully filmed their Insta story with a digital SLR.
Yes, and then
filmed
they crop.
They even filmed it the portrait angle.
Yeah.
And put heaps of effort into it. And it's 24 hours and it's gone. I think it was pretty cool. It's a way to differentiate yourself.
I've seen some very schmick ones. Like all the brands do. North Face, Lululemon, they all have very schmick Insta stories, which I think are really nice. Like they have their place. But I want the organic, like the genuine
authenticity.
Real time, behind the scenes. This is really what's happening.
Yeah.
And I love the accounts that do that, like Chris Burkard. And a lot of airlines, such as Fly Swiss, they do that, and My Switzerland and that kind of thing. And that's what attracts people because everything's so filtered now. I feel as though people just want what's real, like what is really going on. Like, don't give me so much polished and filtered and deliberately created stuff. Yeah.
I agree. I'm confused with my Insta stories though. I don't know what I'm doing with them. It's pretty rare that I post. I pretty much will post behind the scenes stuff, which I think
I like behind the scenes.
Yeah, I just show my setup if I have like a different setup, and then
because people are nosy, they want to know that stuff.
Yeah, and I like it as well. So I'm thinking if I like it, that's probably a reason why I should do it. I forgot to do one the other day because I put my GoPro on my Ronin stabilizer and it looked really funny because it's a tiny camera on a big stabilizer. But then I was so stressing too much with the shoot, so I forgot to take a photo. And then I've just been Instagramming when I buy new equipment. which I like also as well. Good. Yeah, a friend of mine. Muller, he did a live video on Facebook when he bought his new camera. He bought a Sony 6500.
Oh, like a reveal?
Yeah.
Unboxing?
Like, that was the coolest thing ever. I mean, I loved it. I thought it was so exciting. I was like started asking questions and stuff. So, but yeah, that's me. I wonder what other people like and what they're into.
I get quite good engagement on my stories. And
really?
You probably know they're a bit like nothing. Like it's a real mix. But yeah, I think people just like what's real. Yeah. And sometimes I go in little rants.
Yeah. People do. I guess Instagram stories is a good place to do that.
Yeah. It's just behind the work.
Yeah.
Because there's so much good work out there. I want to show the differentiating factor.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. You're going to do some, is that a big thing when you travel? Like say when you're going to go to New Zealand, are you thinking about what Instagram stories you're going to do, or is that more in the moment?
It's more in the moment. I haven't really ever planned one, except sometimes I have something that I've been like dying to talk about, and then I'll do a semi-planned Insta story. But besides that, it's just whatever is happening on the day. But I try to be pretty regular with it, mainly because, like I said, I just want to be at the forefront of people's minds and show them me. And also sometimes I don't have that much work to publish. So the Insta story is a way of like being out there still.
Do you put your actual work on Insta stories? I don't think I've seen that often. So say if you put like a
screenshot?
Yeah, kind of. So a landscape shot or a action shot that you've taken, but you don't quite want to commit to putting it on your Instagram. Do you put that on your stories? I don't think I've seen you done that.
Sometimes, but rarely. Yeah. I'll put a screenshot of like the one that I've just posted on there.
Oh, okay. So new post Insta story.
Yeah. I won't write new post, but I'll just put a screenshot up on it.
Okay. I've seen a lot of people know what that means. Post.
Yeah.
Dave puts a lot of his work on Insta stories, but not on his actual Instagram thing.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
I think I've done that sometimes. It's sometimes when like a photo's good, but it's not heaps great, and you don't really want it on your Instagram feed forever. I don't know.
It's funny how you commit to something but not.
Yeah. No, my Instagram story is like, just what's happening in the moment.
Do you ever delete Instagram posts?
I need to put one on my story. I'll do it later at the end. Do I ever delete? Yes, I have.
Instagram posts?
Yes, I have.
Why did you decide to delete it?
Sometimes I read the caption and it just doesn't really resonate with me anymore, or it's applicable to when I posted it, but no longer. And I just don't really want that sitting there.
Yeah, okay.
Or I've gone back
so you can go back far and then delete something.
Oh, not heaps far. Okay. Just like, sometimes it's like getting on a plane or just arrived at blah, blah, blah. And I don't, it's just not timeless.
Yeah. I've never deleted one, I think. I'm trying to remember. I've changed mine a little bit now because now I've got a work one and a personal one.
Oh, yeah.
So it's... but I rarely delete them. I don't know. As soon as I post it, I kind of I leave it.
Yes.
For me, I just I don't even read at how many likes I have. If there's comments, I'll go and reply or like the comment. But I definitely don't want to be like spending time on how many likes did I get? Why did this do better? Because it's not super important for me. It's more, I think, especially my business account, it's more to show that I'm active, I'm working, like I'm getting work. It just shows that I'm in the industry now and I want to keep working. So if someone's interested in hiring me, they can see that I've done work.
Yeah,
it's not
your current
2 months since I did anything.
Yeah.
That's really the main reason. And the personal one, I don't know. It's just the highlights of life.
Highlights of life. My highlight reel.
That's it.
Yeah, I try not to get too invested because, like we said, it changes so much. There's almost no point.
Yeah.
And there's just more to life. You know,
there's other things to do for sure.
Yeah. And the whole point is that I like travel and photography. It's not that I like getting Instagram likes.
Yeah, and being on your phone.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Anything you want to plug at the end? I mean, we did it in the beginning, but I think you could repeat it a bit at the end as well.
So my Instagram is Thuc, THUC.creative. Definitely check out my Instagram stories. And everything else is linked from Instagram. So I think if you go there, you can pretty much branch out to whatever avenue you want. I mean...
What kind of work are you looking for if people are interested in hiring you?
I'm looking for outdoors and travel work. Any fitness work that's in the outdoors as well, I would enjoy. Like any outdoor activities, hiking, kayaking, trail running, biking, anywhere that takes me to somewhere beautiful, I will do.
Anything outdoorsy.
Yeah.
You did actually did you do a flat lay shot for Peak Chocolate?
I did. Oh. That was really fun.
Yeah, cool.
Because that was my first product shoot.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it.
Did you shoot it with flash or did you shoot it natural light?
Natural light.
Yeah.
I had a very
Would you want to do
funny
more of that?
setup. Yeah, I'd like to do more of that. I'm doing some stuff for Chief Bar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that will be fun. That's more lifestyle-y shots, so not so much product shots.
Oh, not flat lays. Okay.
Yeah. But Peak Chocolate is really fun.
The upside with that is you just shoot either at your home or in a studio. Yeah. It's kind of practical. You don't have to travel or anything.
I mean, I'm pretty open to all photography work because I just love photography as a whole.
Yeah.
Passion-wise, the outdoors and travel stuff is definitely, like, that's the big dream.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the one you want to keep developing.
Yeah. Like, it's not like with my fitness work, I want to shoot the CrossFit Games or something. Like, I don't have a tangible goal with that. I just love doing it as it comes through. But with the outdoors and travel, like, I do want to book a campaign for like the North Face or Lululemon or something like that one day. That's the
guy
goal.
up here that shoots for Lululemon.
Who?
I can't remember his name now, but there is a guy up on the beaches that shoots.
Oh yeah.
I think you can get a bit of work because Lululemon have all these local ambassadors.
Yes.
So and the stores always need shots of them.
I have a meeting with one of the stores.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
that might
I'm
be
really excited.
Might be a foot in. I don't know how that works. I haven't heard of anyone that does that. That work, whether or not it's paid, but it's a foot in the door.
Yeah.
Even if you get some free clothes from Lulu, that's worth it.
And like, it's quite aligned, you know. I like it when the mission and the values align because then it's just fun.
And you get your work printed and it hangs in the store. And, Have you ever had...
It can't be bad. It's not a bad thing.
No, definitely not. But I still think at the end of the day, you should get paid for most of the work you do.
It's just the time.
Yeah.
Contra deals are funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have time to talk about that?
Yeah. For sure. What did you...
do you ever get approached for contra deals?
If I ever get approached for contra deals, all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, and not all the time. It sounds like I'm super busy, which I'm busy, but not super busy.
But I want more, book me.
I've got a good balance. But yes, I get asked. I find it funny when people ask if I can do a video, and when they ask me, it's usually a Facebook message or Instagram message, and the way they ask it, they think it's implied that they're not going to pay. There's a funny tone to it. So it's almost like asking for a favor. Would you be interested in doing this video or doing whatever? And I reply back, yeah, that sounds great. Just give me a little bit more details so I get an idea of how much time I need to do on a shoot. And then I send back a quote. And then usually it either goes quiet.
Radio silence.
Or it's like, oh, we thought maybe you just wanted to do it because you wanted to come out and hang out with us and stuff. And in the beginning, I would do that all the time just because I needed to get work. But now I don't really have time for it. And then I feel like it's funny if they think that I'm being rude when I say no. Yeah. So I'm at that point now where I feel awkward saying no, but
you don't have time.
If you don't have time to, like, if you don't have the budget to pay me, I think you should find someone else. And I'm always happy to recommend people. Yeah. Because there's so many people that are trying to make it in this business. Yeah. And I think in the beginning it's better to shoot than not to shoot. Yes. Yeah. As long as it's worth your time. How about you?
My thing is, I'm happy to do it if there's an equal trade-off and appreciation. I think you can feel when they just don't want to pay you because they don't really value it. Yeah. Compared to it's not so much in their budget, or they feel like they can exchange something of equal value, like, you know, flights and even goods. It's just, there's no concrete rule. It's more like a feeling. It's kind of like, you know, when, not like they're trying to take advantage of you, but they don't value it. And yeah, you can tell whether or not it's a good fit quite often. Yeah.
I think one thing people forget about as well, which is another big reason why I say no to non-paid work now, is that if they ask me to do a job and they don't pay me, that job for me is going to go right at the back of my priority list. So say if I have a shoot on the weekend, I have a shoot on Monday, a shoot on Tuesday, so I've done 3 shoots. 2 of them are paid, 1 of them are non-paid. Or like that non-paid one is going to go right at the back of the line of my edits, and edits take time. And then by the time I get around to editing that, I might have some other work up. And that's happened, and it just becomes awkward in a way.
It's not a good experience for either party. And I just think, like, no one would ever ask Luke to train them for free. Yeah. So when they insinuate like a free photo shoot, I don't know how to navigate that.
It's a hard one to communicate, to politely say no. I the way I'm trying to do it now is to say no in the nicest way I can, and then straight away recommend someone. Because I've had either people asking for a contra deal or even offering me a job that I'm not confident doing. Or just very time consuming. That like this is going to be a month shoot. I had one the other day, and I tried to talk to her as much as I could. She runs a company called My Best Gift. Yep. And they do all these activities across Sydney. And it's a great company, but shooting all the activities would just take forever. Yeah. So I ended up, after probably a 30-minute conversation, say, listen, I probably can't do this. Yes. And I don't even know what to recommend. Yeah. And then a month later, there's a few companies now that do something similar. And I did get back to her. So at least she gets a solution. Yeah. She might not have gotten that yet, but... it's tricky. Yeah. But I think if you offer or just you give good advice back,
yes,
that's nice.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't even do that. So.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a weird part of the job.
Yeah. It's something I think creatives experience a lot.
Yeah. And it's just the time. Like.
Yeah. I've had this discussion since I studied photography at uni because everyone was like that, especially when you're a student. You do a lot of free work. And everyone's like, when do you start charging? How much do you charge? And
how much do you charge?
Yeah, I haven't even, I don't think you ever nail that.
No. And it should always change, I feel.
Yeah.
Because no job is ever really the same. No circumstance is the same.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe weddings are quite uniform, but besides that, I don't know.
Yeah. I charge on a case by case basis, for sure. I do have a lot of people on, like I've created a subscription program, which you guys are part of, and that's worked really well because it is very specific the time that I spend there, and it's easier for the clients as well because they know what they're getting, they know what they're paying. But even that, I don't really have time to take on more clients, which is a good problem to have.
Definitely.
But I think being creative with those kind of things is you have to keep thinking about it.
Yeah, it's quite tiring.
Yeah. How do you usually quote someone if they ask you to do a shoot?
I think of it as like an hourly rate almost, and try and guess how long it would take me to. Yeah, it's like the travel to get there, the shoot, the post, any other prep work, I guess.
Yeah. The travel is so important, especially when you live in Sydney.
Yeah.
I've had that battle heaps, and I'm like, this is such a big... Because I hate driving as well. Yeah. It's such a big deal for me. I've got a shoot on the Gold Coast tomorrow, and that traveling to the Gold Coast and back, because I have to get up early and there's no traffic then to go to the airport, that's almost the same amount of traveling if I had somewhere down south in Sydney. Yeah. And you get stuck in traffic at the worst time. If it's a weekday shoot and... Oh man,
you got to factor it in. Yeah. It's all about time for me. Like time is precious, and
do you feel like as you're investing money into equipment, you can keep charging more, or is it just your skill?
Yeah,
that's a funny one with photography.
Yes, it is a funny one because I did think that it warranted like a price increase, but then I read something that was like, no, you can't just charge more because you have a better camera. So I don't really know. There's no science to pricing. It's just what works for you.
I agree.
I don't know.
I think it's harder with stills because it's the same in a way. But with video, I think you can, with more expensive equipment, it's very easy to see the look is different.
Yes.
So it does help me
charge a bit more. Yeah. My thing is also like the client as well, because I'm quite mindful when working with small businesses that they don't have a massive marketing budget. And although I'd love to charge like, I don't even know, like $700 for a 2-hour shoot. Yeah. I know that maybe that's out of reach for a smaller gym. Yeah. And it gets to that point where it's like, and it will change all the time. It's like, do I want to work with them and help them out and give them a cheaper rate, or do I want to stick to my guns because this is what my time is worth and blah, 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 you know? So, yes. Yeah. I'm always mindful of the client because working with Star Strength, I know the other side of
you've seen that. You know what it's like to run a small business. Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of the similar friends, and a lot of them run small businesses. And I agree, you do want to make it accessible for them.
Especially because it can be a long-term relationship.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah. I've got a call with a client later today, and it's an interesting one because I'm going to price it quite differently because they've never worked with me before, and they have a product that I'm really confident that with the videos that I'll create around it, it's a perfect fit for me. Yeah. That they're gonna keep. That's going to build. That's going to build their business. So they're going to get more. It's a traveling and fitness type of company. Mm-hmm. So the people that will do it will definitely get more value because there'll be more video and they can share it, and it looks like they're having fun and enjoying themselves. And that in itself is the best marketing because it's a word of mouth on social media of what these people did. So say if you did a trip and there's a good video from it and it looks like you're having the best time, which people you want to show off. Yeah. it's going to lead to other sales.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm going to price that a little bit differently. So the entry point is easy, but then if they, benefit from it, then they should pay accordingly as well.
Yeah. It's all very tricky.
Yeah. That's I guess where it's easier if you do weddings.
I know, because then it's just, and you're guided by the market because there are so many wedding photographers and you can find the pricing quite easily. Like, what the average is and you kind of see where you sit quality wise. Whereas the other stuff, it's quite, especially travel, it's very competitive. So everyone generally holds their cards quite close to their chest.
And a lot of them, I reckon, do cheap work or free work.
Yes, but it seems like they don't. Yeah. It's very hard to ascertain like what is actually going on. Yeah.
Have you thought about other avenues to create a revenue within photography?
Well, when we were talking about the product, that was something that I kind of looked into straight after the peak shoot, and that's how I ended up with Chief Bar. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm open to anything photography related, but because Too Creative is like on the side, I just need more time to invest in it and see where it goes. I've thought about prints before.
Yeah.
But I'd want to do it, like I don't want to do it in a mass produced way.
Yeah,
like
so
I don't want to
have
just
digital
on my
prints coming out.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I actually saw there's a few famous surf and beach photographers in Sydney. There's Murray in Manly, and then there's, I can't remember his name, but Aqua Bumps in Bondi.
Oh yes,
He's been around
Eugene
for ages.
Tan.
Eugene, yeah, that's right. They do a lot of prints, and especially Eugene, I think, sells them globally and sells them for good money.
He's in the airport.
Oh, is he?
That's how big he is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember I followed him before we moved to Sydney.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to move to Bondi.
It's so iconic. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can make good money on that. But what I don't see a lot anymore, which I saw all the time when I was a photography student, is proper prints from film. I think that it looks way different.
Yep.
Even black and whites that are developed properly in the old-fashioned way.
I do want to do like
coolest thing.
Yeah, like a processing course kind of thing.
So, like, that was my dream when I was starting. It was like shooting with a rangefinder.
Yeah,
like a really cool old-fashioned Leica, and then print it yourself.
Yeah.
And when I started, we were in the... it was changing into digital, but we still hung on to the old-fashioned way. So we would learn how to go in a darkroom, and we would print our assignments in a darkroom, and then some digital. That was great. I'd love to have a darkroom and do that, because it is heaps different. So no, none of these photos are printed in a darkroom. They're black and white, but they're all digital. I do have quite a few. I actually have some artwork for my lecture.
Oh, cool.
And it's printed on it's I guess art level print, black and white, and it looks amazing. Just the sharpness and the clarity.
Yeah.
There's good digital prints now for sure, and some of them I'm 100% certain that I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, but a lot of the digital prints look digital still.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is something that I've been looking at just doing for fun.
Have you done a darkroom?
Yes, in high school, but I can barely remember. It was part of art because I did art.
So you had chemicals.
Yeah. But
it's fun.
I can't remember most of it. That'd be cool to play with.
I think...
Or like a photo, like a coffee table book. I've always wanted to make one. I don't know what of.
You need to find that out first. And then get a Kickstarter,
like a
maybe.
Yeah.
Like the boys.
Yeah. But I'd love... Because I love books. So
yeah,
that would be really cool. And just have some... like a product.
Yeah. Something that you can touch and feel. Yeah. It's... There's so many avenues outside just shooting that you can make money from.
Yeah, even workshops.
Yeah.
Or because I have my Cert 3 in outdoor recreation.
Yeah.
So technically, I could lead people on a hike,
or
even climbing.
Yeah.
So when I talked to Luke Sharkey, because he does photo tours, he was like, "That is something that you could do because you're a qualified guide, really." And a lot of the national parks restrict you. Like, you can't lead a tour there unless you're qualified. Yeah. So, I don't know. That's an avenue. But
that'd be fun. It sounds like...
it would be really fun.
Yeah.
It's just time, you know?
Yeah, that's it. You got to spend...
I have 3 things going on here.
And you don't have time to spend 20% of your time to try and develop your own.
Yeah. It's just, what do I want to do more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That was awesome.
Yay.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully you enjoyed it.
I did.
And hopefully you'll enjoy listening or even watching it back. That was 30 minutes after we did your spiel at the end about
where you're at. So
sorry. I'll try and link all your handles and everything.
Yeah, thank you.
On Instagram and Facebook. Cool. All right. I'm not sure who the next one's going to be or when it'll be, but I'm done a little bit better the last month about getting new guests on. So thank you for making it this far if you watched all the way or listened all the way. And we'll see you again soon.
See ya.